Sit back and check out the RCWR Show with Lee Sanders. Get fun, in-depth coverage and analysis from the latest in professional wrestling in AEW, WWE, NWA, Impact Wrestling, or the world of entertainment. From big TV shows to your favorite sports like the NBA or NFL. All things music, movies, and beyond, while trying to make sense of this crazy world we live in. All while keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive since 2011. And now your host, live from the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Hey everybody, what is going on? Happy Saturday afternoon to you. Happy weekend. Lee Sanders with you all for a special live weekend edition of the RCWR Show as we are minutes removed from WWE Night of Champions. It is now in the books. Come one, come all. If you saw the event and you're with me right now, you're tuning in, definitely sound off. Let me know your thoughts about this weekend's event. You can also vote on our interactive poll right now. Head on over to Twitter at the RCWR Show. Vote that way, or you can vote on youtube.com/the RCWR Show. Click on the post section and vote that way. We'll see how everything is looking later on during the show. Night of Champions coming to us from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It is now in the books. Still, your WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, John Cena. A lot of shenanigans was going on in that main event match, though. I gotta say, one thing that I found to be very distracting during that main event match, and that is the fact that about less than 5 minutes into the main event, CM Punk was blown out. I don't know if any of you guys that was watching saw what I saw, but I just kept going, damn, is my man Punk okay? What's going on here? Does he need an oxygen mask? And that's not me making fun of CM Punk. That's not me being mean. That's me legit going, yo, does my man need to chill for about 2 minutes in the corner and be given an oxygen mask? Because he looked like he was struggling there, man. He looked like he was struggling. Meanwhile, we got Cena, who's wrestling like once every 2 months or some weird schedule like that. This dude is not panting for nothing. It's like, Cena, what exactly are you doing, homie? Because whatever you're doing, can you kind of pass that along to CM Punk? Now, look, don't get my words twisted. I think for the age that CM Punk is at right now, I think he looks great. He is in the best shape of his career right now. As far as like when I really stop, and as a big CM Punk fan that I am, 2 other times that I can think of where, you know what, CM Punk's build pretty damn good. So this current build that he's got going on, man, that's what you should strive for if you getting close to 50. That's definitely what you should try to strive for. But yeah, his cardio is just way, 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 way off. For me, thinking about all the nostalgia that comes with John Cena, CM Punk, the rivalries over the years, I definitely experienced it in real time. And let me tell you something, it really, really was something that if you did not have the pleasure of experiencing in real time, when it all first went down with these two men, you missed out on some really great matches. You missed out on some magical moments. The matches alone just on a whole new other level. So you tell me that in 2025, CM Punk, John Cena, they gonna be getting it on one final time, one-on-one. I'm going, yo, nostalgia reactivated. Let's go! And for me, this may be a very unpopular opinion here, but the way we've been giving it to you since 2011, keeping it honest, keeping it insightful, definitely keeping it interactive, I'm probably going to say something that's very unpopular. This match was mid. This match was mid. Now, some of you all that's hearing that, you're probably going to be mad. You're probably going to be real quick to maybe want to hit a dislike. You probably want to clap back at me. All warranted. But at least hear me out as far as why I've arrived at this conclusion. Now, would I be willing to watch this match again and revisit with you all come Monday for the Raw post show? Sure, I will do you all that solid. But this is about instant reactions, right? Fresh off of watching Night of Champions. Cena, I felt, was totally fine. I felt like I was watching John Cena from yesteryear. Yeah, maybe a bit slower. I will definitely admit that. Both men, definitely a step slower. But the psychology is still there. Timing was a little bit off between both of these guys. I know there was a lot of reversals, a lot of counterings that was going on in this matchup, but it wasn't as smooth and crisp as it was in their previous encounters. It definitely seemed more choreographed this go round. Now, maybe for some people, hey, it's all good. Scratched all the itches I had anticipating this match. Did me wonders, Lee. Nah, I'm good. Was this a match of the year candidate? Because I know some people were like, yo, these guys are going to be fighting Night of Champions. Yo, oh man, match of the year. No, definitely not match of the year. I will even go a step further and say to you guys, this wasn't even the best match on the card. Wasn't even the best match on the card. Now, that don't mean this match was crap. Please don't take it that way. I'm not saying this match was crap. If I felt the match was crap, match was crap. Match wasn't crap. It just, it was okay. It was all right. It was decent. Nothing to write home about. We're watching two guys that's in their late 40s, slowly creeping up on 50. They damn near hitting that corner on 50. It was basically one of those matches where you go, well, what the hell do you expect for two guys that's creeping on age 50? What do you expect? So that's it. I wish I had more for you guys, but that's about all I had. I'm glad the way that this match. Now look. I appreciate WWE Creative and the way they basically try to compensate for what was going on with these guys by incorporating Seth Rollins in his new Dangerous Alliance. I love that little touch because the history, that rich history that's there with Seth Rollins, CM Punk. Seth Rollins, his whole mission statement, as long as there is still air breathing in these lungs, you will never be WWE champion. CM Punk almost kind of going, yeah, well, you know what? Touche. I see you and I'll raise you. I'll make sure you get screwed as well. You gonna mess with me? You gonna mess with my business? I'm gonna mess with you too. How about that? Right? So I love that we incorporated that into this whole thing. And Seth Rollins, Big Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker. I love the fact that they all made their presence felt in this. Nice touch. By the way, John Cena getting in two attitude adjustments. Was trying to look for a super attitude adjustment from the corner top middle rope, but kind of got denied there a little bit. That was a nice little touch. Definitely, as soon as the referee took that bump out of the equation, you already knew what time it was. But I appreciate the fact that creative was like, okay, you know what? We're only going to let these two guys on their own take this match only up to a certain point. And look, they tried to feel their way in this match, did Punk and Cena. They definitely fed into the crowd. Because, I mean, this crowd, that Saudi Arabia crowd, shout out to them. Great, great, great energy. I really, really love their energy throughout this event. Although I got to say, some of these matches we got, it was a little, you can hear a pin drop. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So, Big Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, getting in there, getting their hands dirty, causing a whole bunch of ruckus, and basically this was a take no prisoners, lay everybody out, as Rollins was looking to cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase. So, in a weird, inadvertent way, we saw Cena, Punk putting their differences to the side here and essentially joining forces, technically, to fight this dangerous alliance. Penta, Zero Miedo, even getting involved in this. Remember, he's got some unfinished business with this stable. Even Sami Zayn, who was victorious earlier in the night, we'll talk about that in a hot little bit, coming out there, wanting him a plate. Summertime, everybody's coming to the cookout in this matchup. Everybody coming to the cookout. Everybody want a plate. Everybody want to get a plate at this cookout. So everybody's getting a big old plate of ass whooping. Okay? Loved how all of that was set up. Fans were chanting for Tribal Chief. I know some of you guys have been asking during the streams, as most recent as this past Monday, when is Roman Reigns going to be returning? Well, first of all, let me counter that by saying, how many times have we seen Roman Reigns make his triumphant return? We have seen so many Roman Reigns return. Like, seriously, go on social media, and I will even share it with you guys on the Monday show. But over the years, we have seen so many Roman Reigns returns. Roman Reigns returning. Roman Reigns coming soon. Roman Reigns, triumphant return. We've seen so many graphics of Roman Reigns that at this point, look, just let the man show up. Just let the man show up. We don't need no graphics. We don't need no, just let the man show up randomly. Okay? Because I know you guys, you're like, Lee, when do you think Roman Reigns is going to retire? Look, whenever the man is available. That's my answer. That's not me taking the cheap way out. By the way, congratulations are definitely in order for Roman Reigns. We'll talk more about it on the Monday show. I'll give you all my thoughts about the casting, as we now know the core crew for the new live-action Street Fighter movie. Apparently, Big Dog, Roman Reigns, Tribal Chief, is going to be Akuma. I'm still trying to process that, by the way. I'm still trying to process that. Yeah, we'll come back to that on Monday, right? No Roman Reigns, though, for Night of Champions. So for those of you that were thinking maybe Roman Reigns popping up, no, didn't happen. That's not to say maybe it won't happen in the distant future. Just got to wait and see, to be continued. So had all of this that was going on, and then at one point, Seth Rollins thought he was going to be able to cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase after Bronson Reed and Breaker took out CM Punk, laying him out over by the Saudi announce table. John Cena gets in there, though, face-to-face with Rollins. Nah. You're not doing this. Not on me. Not on my watch during my last run. No, it ain't happening. Boom. Give Seth Rollins a attitude adjustment. CM Punk, Cena coming to. Oh, yeah. That reminds me. Bronson Reed tried to get back in there, and there pretty much was a tag team on him by Cena and Punk. Then afterwards, Punk, Cena, middle of the ring, Punk trying to do the noble thing, extending his hand, wanting to shake. Cena obliges. They go in for a hug, but we see Cena give that stone cold killer look back from months ago when he initially turned. Oh, the dagger. Oh, that sweet, sweet dagger to the back. But at least this go round, the dagger was actually in the front there. But Punk kind of scouted that, had it coming. We saw a couple of more series of counters, but all said and done, Cena retaining the championship by getting a little bit of help there from Seth Rollins. Numbers game really was a factor in these final moments there. Seth Rollins knocking out CM Punk with the Money in the Bank briefcase, coming in with a curb stomp. Cena doing his thing to Rollins, quickly taking advantage of a laid out CM Punk, picking up the 1, 2, 3, retaining the Universal World Heavyweight Championship. That way, Super Cena continues. Bad guy Cena continues. Some people may feel that it was a little bit too over the top as far as the amount of interference. I welcome it, all things considered. You heard one of my dogs just now. She's like, yeah, that was a lot. No, I welcome it. I mean, anybody that thought that there was no way, no how, that there was going to be interference in there. I mean, come on. Look. I just told you guys about Roman Reigns, and we already got a question about Roman Reigns coming back. And the question is, Roman, come back? Any possibility? Roman will come back. And like everybody, like, guys, really stop and think for yourselves if you've been watching WWE for a couple of years. We've seen Roman Reigns return so many times. Really, be honest with yourselves. We have seen Roman Reigns come back so many times. I miss the guy as much as you all miss him. Trust me. We're at a point right now where we really don't need no announcements. Just watch a random whatever show. And honestly, I'm telling WWE, you don't need to announce when Roman's coming back. Just let Roman pop up. Just pop up randomly. That's how you do it. At this point, that's how you need to do it. When I show you guys the graphic on Monday's show of all the times that we got Roman Reigns returning, it's like we spam that out too many times. Now it just needs to be, just let him show up when, random. And I'm sure WWE already has some type of a outline for when Roman is going to be coming back. Now, I will say this and we'll move on because we got other matches that we need to talk about. I will say this. For you all that's like, oh man, well, they just announced Roman Reigns for the new Street Fighter. Well, hang on. Because you're talking to somebody that knows a thing or two about television production, writing treatments and scripts and all of that. Take comfort in this. Though the cast has been announced, filming has not started yet. They are still in the pre-production phase. And 9 times out of 10, they're probably still trying to get a lockdown on the locations for where they're going to be filming. I seriously doubt that principal photography has been done yet as far as trying to get an idea on where they might shoot, take some pictures, record some video, and as a team kind of sit down and talk about that, figure all that out. They could potentially be a couple of months away. Now, we do know that there is a release date for the movie, and if I remember right, I believe the movie is supposed to come out sometime second quarter of next year. So there's a little bit of time in there where basically if they're trying to do something with Roman, they still got time. It's not like he's going to be filming the movie beginning of July. So 9 times out of 10, Roman is definitely going to be back in time for SummerSlam. I think you guys, honestly, realistically, if you quietly just really take a step back, you marinate on everything that I just said, you Roman Reigns fans, y'all gonna be all right, okay? But John Cena retains the Universal World Heavyweight Championship. He lives another day. Not the best match though, with CM Punk and all that. I will say I'm very curious now that Cena has essentially 17 or 16 dates left. I'm very curious to see where we're going here with this journey. Is it possible we're going to be seeing Cena do some form of a tag match with CM Punk, possibly Penta, Sami Zayn, kind of bringing that back again full circle against Seth Rollins and his new Dangerous Alliance, or Paul Heyman's new Dangerous Alliance. Only time is going to tell on that one, but the seeds that's been planted, you definitely have set it up if you want to go there with a big tag team type of, if you want to go there, you can. So also kudos to WWE for having John Cena, CM Punk, and intertwining their Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. It was actually nice, very fresh for that matter, seeing these guys lock it up with, without a doubt, superstars from the yesteryear and everything. So that was a nice little touch how everything was just intertwined in that whole thing. But that was the main event. For those of you that's just now tuning in, we haven't even talked about the other matches yet. So let's go ahead and let's go right into that bad boy. If I have any other additional thoughts I want to add as far as that main event match goes, I will definitely add it on later in the show. By the way, John Cena defeating CM Punk to retain that championship, 26 minutes and 15 seconds. So, not too shabby. Meanwhile, opening up Night of Champions, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes defeating Randy Orton in the King of the Ring tournament finale, 19 minutes, 45 seconds. Seems as though maybe some seeds were planted a little bit as far as getting the gears in motion for a eventual heel Cody Rhodes. Why are you saying that, Lee? You might have missed it if you didn't watch the event, but a little bit, I would say, midway. Randy Orton, he had an opportunity to punt the living hell out of Cody. Held back just a little bit. Then he said, nah, you know what? F it. I'm going to go for it. Well, he paid for that hesitation. Cody did make him pay for that. Ate a move. I think it was a crossroads. Not sure. But Orton kicked out. Match continued. Orton later on goes, yeah, you know what? By any means necessary, I got to win this because I got to go to SummerSlam. He exposes the turnbuckle pad, removes that, exposes metal all in the corner. So you're going, oh, okay, all right, we see where this is going. Cody realizes what's going on, but at this point, that corner is already exposed, full metal. Two of them, they keep fighting. I don't know what's going on with the referee. Seriously, I don't know if the referee saw what Orton was doing and he's like, hey, or if maybe he was busy trying to collect the turnbuckle pad. I don't know what's going on with the referee. All I know is Orton, Rhodes, they're going at it. Couple of reversals. Cody decides, what the hell? So he essentially strong whips Orton into the corner. Orton hits the side of his ribs, and right on cue, it's the little things that I love. Soon as Orton goes into that corner, I just love the fact that Orton sold that instantly. I love that he went, and Cody just comes right from behind, crossroads, 1, 2, 3. I love that. Now, some people will go, now, do you understand what I'm saying now as far as seeds of an eventual heel Cody implemented, right? Because like we've never seen Cody Rhodes do some tactics like that. And can you just imagine Jesse the Body Ventura on commentary for that match? I kind of question the tactics there of one Mr. Cody Rhodes, Mr. Noble, High and Mighty. Look at what he did just now, Michael Cole. Like, I'm just picturing Jesse Ventura. Like, well, Jesse, you got a very valid point, but a win is a win. Remember, it's not cheating unless you get caught. So they say. But no, Cody pretty much giving it right back to Orton, coming away with the W. He's your 2025 King of the Ring winner. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm chuckling because I'm going, Cody cheated. Like damn, dog. Like you couldn't do it the right way. You couldn't, so look, I love how this was done though. Because if you're really taking a step back and you're thinking about this, yeah, we might have had Cody post match verbally as he was being interviewed by Byron Saxton, giving Orton his flowers, all that good stuff. But I like how this has been designed because on the one hand, you're going, yo, Cody Rhodes is doing whatever it takes to get the job done. Now, you can either respect the hell out of that or you go, damn, that's a little dirty there, Cody. What the hell? And then if you're Orton, you've got some seeds that's planted in there where if you wanted to have a bitter asshole Cody Rhodes, a bitter asshole Randy Orton, and let Randy Orton be the bad guy, you can definitely do that. Personally, as long as I've been watching Randy Orton, and I remember when we first started this show, Randy Orton, boy, that dude was getting in trouble. That dude was getting in trouble more times than I could personally care for when we first began this show. I love where Randy Orton is right now. I really, really do. I know that there's some people out there, they look at his matches, they go, man, they look at him overall and they just go, no, Randy Orton is just at this really cool place in his career right now where it's just, you're watching greatness. You're watching somebody that time is of the essence. There's no telling how much longer we're going to be able to watch this guy do his thing. And it's just kind of one of those live in the moment, appreciate the moment. And I really think, by the way, as far as great reactions go, I love the Saudi crowd's reaction to Orton. I mean, they were really giving this man his flowers in this match opener. I got goosebumps as I was seeing it, and I could tell it really was hitting Orton really, really hard here. It was good. It's great emotional. Like, even Cody was getting a lot of love there for his entrance and everything. Damn good matchup between these two. I gotta say, of all the matches that was on the card for tonight, remember what I had said in regards to Punk and Cena. I said not even the best match on the card. I actually got to give the nod to Cody and Randy. They actually had the best match, and that was the opener. So Cody letting it be known, whether it's John Cena or it's CM Punk, he's coming for that championship. He is coming for that WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship. He wants the ball back. He said that clear as day. He wants the ball back. So now that we know John Cena has retained, so we got SummerSlam, Cody, Cena, round 2. I can't help but wonder if the final boss is going to be involved in some type of way, or if The Rock is going to go, no, all things considered. I mean, like, if we were to believe the reports that's out there, the miscommunication and Rock feeling one way and WWE essentially, no, we're thinking this instead. And, it's kind of sour grapes essentially. And Rock is like, okay, well, I'll just leave that alone and I'll just go do this over here instead. And other WWE aspects, I just can't help but wonder if they got something cooking with The Rock going into SummerSlam. Because it's interesting how all that just developed and then it just got abandoned. It's almost, what was the name of Richie Cunningham's brother on Happy Days? Shout out if you remember, because it's that syndrome where basically, well, the last time we saw that character, he went upstairs to his bedroom and we haven't seen him since. He's never been addressed. It's kind of like one of those type of deals. No, I was not born in the 70s, by the way. But, or if you are more, I don't know, see, we go with something more recent. Married with Children. You remember the little kid, Seven? Like one day, they just did not even mention what the hell happened to Seven, right? It's just one of those type of deals. So, are we going to continue to have this be the case where we're not addressing The Rock ever again in this whole Cody Cena? Like, I'm curious to see what's going to happen on the road to SummerSlam now. So, but very solid matchup between Orton and Rhodes. Good stuff. One of my favorites. Meanwhile, Street Fight. Rhea Ripley defeating Raquel Rodriguez. 14-minute mark. Okay. Got a problem with this match. They did it right when they had Roxanne Perez run interference. And if you saw my Night of Champions predictions, it was a short that I uploaded to YouTube just the other day. I said, yo, now that you got Liv Morgan out of the equation, it makes all the sense in the world to go on ahead and have Roxanne Perez kind of slide on in there, try to act like she's the big rah-rah. Oh, we got to hold the fort down until Liv comes back. Hey, this is what I propose. Like, you got to have her come off like that rah-rah off the bench. Hey, I'm second string. Let's go in. Let's get the job done. And so, to my delight, loved it when Roxanne Perez was out there interfering in this street fight. And since it's a street fight, ain't got to worry about disqualification. Perfect. I love seeing her piss off Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley ended up chasing her around the ring. Roxanne getting in a little cheap attack, but then eventually Rhea Ripley owning her little ass. But I thought for sure the numbers game was going to catch up on Rhea. And it didn't. I just felt that with the pep talk that Finn Balor had gave Raquel earlier this week and saying to her, yo, we brought you in the Judgment Day because you a badass. You a mega badass. You handle your business. You that beast. You that dog. Like, you've been off your game. Here's your reminder. Remember who the hell you are and go out there. And so this was a really good opportunity for WWE Creative, I felt, to kind of do a nice reset. Not a hard reset, but just a little soft reset on Raquel Rodriguez. Now, look, it was definitely a physical match. I will definitely give it that. This was definitely a very intense physical match. I loved when Rhea bust out the kendo stick. One of them bust out the kendo stick. I love when that went down. I love when Rhea decided, I'm just going to whip this damn woman. I'm going to whip her to death. And she took her little leather belt off her waist and she just started going to town multiple times all around the ring on Raquel. Love that. Good stuff right there. Great showmanship by Raquel. Some really solid stuff that she did in there that just had me go, that's how you do it. I was literally having shades of Raquel Rodriguez back in her NXT days. I'm going, that's the Raquel Rodriguez that I fell in love with initially, that I became a fan of pretty quickly. So it was nice seeing how this match was laid out, and we were kind of getting shades of that. But this was a really good opportunity for them to kind of do a little bit of a reset for Raquel, especially since they did tease during the broadcast that, hey, the status of those tag titles that Raquel and Liv hold, that's going to be addressed very shortly. Kind of gives you the impression we'll probably know what's going to be going on with those titles when we go into Monday Night Raw, which is more the reason why I thought for sure Raquel was going to win, thanks in part to Roxanne Perez, because what nice way, I just mentioned the whole Roxanne, rah, 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 coming off the bench. Now you've set it up really good where when you go into Monday and you want to address the status of those tag titles, you could have Roxanne once again. Oh, look at me, rah, rah, rah. I'm just coming off the bench. Me, Roxanne, mean no harm. I just come in and, I see this situation where we got a teammate down. I'm just trying to step up and do the right thing. Tee hee hee hee. Like, no, no, no. We know exactly what you're trying to do. And we don't mind it, especially if it means when Liv comes back, she's going to whoop your ass. Like, no, no, totally. We're okay with it. So now I'm kind of looking at this now that Raquel has lost, because honestly, for me, Rhea did not need this win. Rhea did not need this win. She would have been just fine. And the story that you could have ran with was, oh, okay, it was the whole interference. Okay, all right, we get it. Like enough said. But now the only way this makes sense, the only way if this makes sense is if Rhea moves on. That's the only way this makes sense, is if Rhea is moving on and we're having Raquel officially move on from Rhea. Roxanne as well. That's the only way this makes sense. But then even at that, you're going, okay, well, with the Evolution event weeks away, how does things map out here? And I'm going to make a bold prediction. I know we already saw one tournament basically go down where from the NXT side, we now know who's going to get a shot for the NXT Women's Championship. With like basically 2 weeks to go, I think WWE just may go on ahead and do some type of a very, very short number one contenders tournament. Some people may say, man, I'm kind of getting a little tired of these tournaments, Lee. Like, we need to kind of pump the brakes. But no, like, we got this Evolution event going on. I say you do a situation where you get yourselves, you do a match for Raw, that female tag team advances. You go to SmackDown, same thing. You go to NXT, same thing. You can even get the Evolve promotion involved, right? And let it be a fatal four way. So NXT, SmackDown, Raw, Evolve. Yeah, let it be a fatal four way for the tag team titles. And I don't know if they'll anoint Roxanne as the temporary, right? But that's definitely a workaround. You guys sound off. Let me know your thoughts, how you would like to see that whole situation with the tag titles there play out. Meanwhile, Sami Zayn defeating Karrion Kross, 13 minutes. So look, this match, shout out to Karrion Kross, by the way. That's my boy. It's one of my social media followers. Love him. But just because he's my boy, I'm always gonna give it to you raw, man. I'm always gonna be honest. So look here. I don't ever want to hear anybody try to talk about Karrion Kross in a negative fashion when it comes to, oh, this guy doesn't take bumps. This guy won't go on his back. He doesn't do that because have you fucking seen how tall Karrion Kross is? Karrion Kross got like that Randy Orton. Okay, if you've never been to a WWE live event, my people will tell you that's been to a WWE live event, because I've definitely been to a WWE live event. Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, them some big ass boys. And Karrion Kross is like literally in that kind of territory. Okay? So, yeah, I'm not interested. If I'm booking a guy like Karrion Kross with that look, it's going to be extremely rare I have him bumping for somebody. It's going to be pretty rare that I have him falling on his back. Okay? I'm going to do it when it counts the most. Not to mention, and what I thought was irreversible damage creatively that was done to Karrion Kross by Vince McMahon and crew. Man, did they do this, man. I mean, it came off like some sick ass S&M fantasy when you really stop and think about it. The first coming of Karrion Kross. Tell me I'm lying. That's how it honestly came off. We needed to be totally rid of that stench. Okay? I saw some weird stat that was put out there where it said something along the lines of, the last time that Karrion Kross had a singles match, apparently it was in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and it was essentially almost 3 years ago. I'm going, wait, what? That's a weird stat. Like what? Are we really sure about that? That's a very weird stat. Hang on, we got some interruption here. I'm trying to see what's going on. My Ring doorbell is going off. Ooh, we got a package. Ooh, we got a package. That is wow, my AC unit came today. I ordered a AC unit, and I think that is a big ass box. I think that's the AC unit. Okay, I'll just keep the Ring doorbell on, and I'll just keep looking at this package. We should be okay. We're almost done. Let's keep going. I think that's my AC. I think that's my AC. So my AC in the bedroom, it is starting to do some weird dripping. I don't know what the hell is going on with that. It's like underneath. I'm sure many of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm kind of going like, what the hell? And so wifey was like, well, let's just order a new AC. And since you like to be a tinker of all things, maybe you can possibly fix it. And if you can't fix it, we'll just relocate that one elsewhere. But we'll have this new one. We can do our thing. I'm like, yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. Whatever. So that's the story in a nutshell. So I'll be doing some more handyman assembling before the weekend is out. But Karrion Kross, that whole stench needed to be taken off of him big time from what Vince McMahon and the whole creative like. And I've been enjoying what Triple H, Paul Levesque, and crew have been doing with Sean. I was about to call him Sean O'Hare, but what I actually was going to say was I like what they've been doing with Karrion, having him channel the late, great Sean O'Hare. And anybody that's been a long time listener of mine, you know how much of a big fan I am, still am, of Sean O'Hare. I still remember the interview that I did so many years ago where I had talked to his tag team partner and Chuck Palumbo. And man, we had, we went over a lot of different things, a lot of different topics, but we spent a great amount of time talking about Sean O'Hare and everything. So when I see Karrion Kross, and I am of the mindset of I love a psychological mind fucker of an individual, and that's exactly what Karrion Kross is all about. Let this guy do what he does best. Let him fuck with you mentally from the back. Let him get inside your head, basically behind the shadows. And it's like, what is this guy's real agenda here? Is it really about him trying to somehow maneuver his way into a fight with somebody, or is there something here that he's seeing as far as the game of chess goes, and he is like 5, 7 moves ahead of that person that's only thinking one move? Like what's going on here? I never want to see that dumb shit. You can tell who's been watching the career of Karrion Kross, guys like Karrion Kross, and who the fuck hasn't. That's the God's the honest truth. Yeah, what's going on here? Yeah, that's the AC. That's the AC. That is a big ass box. I just got a notification there from Amazon. Hey, we delivered your shit. I'm like, okay, cool. You feel where I'm coming from though? Like, you can tell who's watching a particular wrestler and who's not. When I initially saw this stupid ass report about Karrion Kross, he doesn't like taking bumps. He doesn't like going on his back. He has great difficulty landing on his back. I'm like, since when? I've watched this guy in MLW. I've watched this guy in TNA. I ain't never saw him have any issues. Like, what the hell y'all talking about? So, why am I bringing all that up? Some of you guys may be like, Lee, you're kind of off on a rant. No, Karrion Kross went into this match. Now, he already verbally addressed those silly reports ahead of Night of Champions. But Karrion Kross went a step further, and he backed up what he said in the interview by doing a whole bunch of bumping for Sami Zayn. And he didn't even have to do that shit. But he did a whole lot of bumping for Sami Zayn. I hope after what went down this weekend, stupid reports like that, and whoever put that silly ass report out there, they need to issue him an apology. But guess what? They're not going to do that, because let me tell you something. How the wrestling websites work, it's all about the clicks. It's all about the impressions. It's all about the engagements. Once they get that, they move on to the next. There is no such thing, for them at least, there is no such thing as a retraction. As far as they're concerned, well, we're not the Washington Post. We're not the New York Times. Why should we do a retraction? Why should we do an apology? The match itself, not bad for a Raw kind of match, if that was your cup of tea. Not bad for a Raw kind of match. It felt like it had no business being on the pay-per-view, if I'm being totally honest with you guys. This would have more sufficed for the television shows, as opposed to a pay-per-view. By the way, and I hope this gets back to Karrion, can we do more shit with Scarlett? Man, when Scarlett was down in NXT, oh man, she stayed doing mind games with motherfuckers. She stayed stirring that pot up and all of that. I mean, I love the way she was operating. Now, look, maybe with what we saw at Night of Champions, maybe it's a taste of things to come. You know, but we didn't get any interference from Scarlett. But I did enjoy seeing her, that whole entrance. That was one of the things that was so kick-ass with Karrion Kross, was that entrance with Scarlett, the whole monochrome or black and white filter, and she's coming out lip syncing the whole Fall and Pray. I love that they brought that back. Badass how they did that. Loved it. Did Sami need this win? Me personally, no. I don't think Sami needed this win. I kind of feel as though Karrion needed this win more to prove his point, or to somehow try to validate his point about, yo, this current incarnation of Sami Zayn that's before my eyes, yeah, you're not going to be a world heavyweight champion. And I almost kind of feel like with the type of psychological games that Karrion has been playing on Sami, it's like, I know what you're really capable of. I know, I touch you evil! I like Karrion Kross, like, I know what's really in your heart. You may not want to let that out, but guess what? I'm going to bring it out of you, because that's the beast that you need to come out. That's what's going to make you a world champion. You'll thank me later. Now look, you could always make an argument. Well, did Karrion actually lose to Sami Zayn, like, on purpose? Is it all part of the plan? I mean, I'm not going to go that psychological deep on you guys, but, like, short answer, no. But I was expecting Karrion Kross to pick up the W here. It just seemed more right. Seemed more like the right way to go. We had a lot of baby faces that went over in this one. Let's talk about Asuka and Jade Cargill, Queen of the Ring tournament final. I don't even need to be long winded with this one. This is short to the point. What did I tell you guys when I was offering match predictions for Night of Champions? I said Asuka is going to be bumping like a mother. She knows what she has on her hands with Jade Cargill. She is going to be doing the honors. She is going to be selling. She going to be selling like a mofo. Why did I say that? I'm having shades of HBK, Shawn Michaels, and the Hulkster. If you get that reference, you get that reference. All right. Shout out if you do. But no, I'm looking at this match, and I mean, I love Jade Cargill. I think just the overall presentation and all that. This was rough. This was really, really rough. This was bad. This was bad on so many levels. It's infuriating. You guys have no idea. It's infuriating to me to watch somebody that is genetically beautifully gifted in Jade Cargill and just step back and go, wow, how long have you been in the WWE system now? And you're still not progressing to the point where, okay, this is definitely the WWE Jade Cargill. Look at what the WWE system did for her. Look at where this woman is now. This is still Jade Cargill AEW. Now, what do I mean by that? Not to be long-winded, but nutshell, bullet points. The Jade Cargill that I saw in this match, that I have continued to see each and every single time, but this was by far the worst. I'm seeing a Jade Cargill that, and she can say what she wants on social media. We've seen her say it before, like, oh, haters gonna hate, and it's like, yeah, but nobody's hating you, Jade. We just want for you to do better. We want you to get better, and we're concerned because it's like with all the great coaches that's there, like, what the hell? And it's times like these, I wish that a Serena Deeb was still with WWE, because if there's anybody that could, like, yo, I can take that rock and I'm telling you, I can make it water. I can take that rock, I can make it water. I can make it happen. Watch. Serena Deeb, definitely one of those coaches. And look, with Jazz possibly coming back to the Performance Center, and I don't know for how long, there's rumblings that Gail Kim might be doing a little something. Like, if WWE can acquire both of those women, I'm telling you, one of the first pet projects I'm giving them, Jade Cargill. The Jade Cargill that I continue to see is one that is unsure of herself, one that keeps second guessing herself, right down to the moves. I mean, her footing, it's barely improved, but she's still wrestling with cinder blocks around her damn ankles on her feet. This match was bad. If you are a Jade Cargill fan, this was not a match to be writing home and hooping and hollering about. This was really bad, and it's interesting how in 2025 mediocrity is what rules in WWE. So she is going to be getting a shot at SummerSlam for the Women's Championship. Is she ready? Hell fucking no. Sorry for the profanity, but if hell fucking no. Cue Naomi. Cue Naomi in the cash in. That's all I got. That's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on. I think at this point we got one more match that we can talk about, and that is Solo Sikoa defeating Jacob Fatu to become your new United States champion 12 minutes, 5 seconds. So look, the match itself, okay. Um, Jacob Fatu, boy, that's a beast. That boy's a beast. That is a bona fide megastar in the making. No doubt about that. No doubt about that whatsoever. I know there's a lot of people that's going to be upset over the fact that Jacob lost the United States Championship and everything. But feel me on this. Feel me on this for a second, all right? By the way, final moments of this matchup when it was all said and done, this was all about a numbers game. So I love the fact that it essentially took 3 men to no, actually no, technically it took 4 men because if we're going to include Solo, right? But it essentially took a total of 4 men to basically cheat Jacob Fatu out of the United States Championship. It's a lot of names that I'm remembering, so yeah, I'm going to get a little flabbergasted. JC, Jeff Cobb. Oof, we'll talk more about him on Monday, but some help is needed for that brother. Seriously, some help is needed for him. Tonga Loa making his return. We hadn't seen him in a minute. Running a little interference as well. But then somebody that officially made their debut, their WWE debut, before they were doing little dark matches here and there, Hakuelo. New Japan Pro Wrestling's Hakuelo, Independence, Hakuelo. Like, okay, all right, cool. Putting Jacob Fatu through the table, all that, pretty much setting up Solo Sikoa to pick up the W, become the new United States champion. So if you're keeping tabs or you need a revision, your new bloodline, the newest version of the bloodline, Solo Sikoa, JC Mateo, Tonga Loa, Hakuelo. All right? I know that the community is a little bit divided when it comes to Solo. Some people like his work. Other people feel that, this guy just needs to disappear. Seriously, I heard one person say, send his ass to TNA. It's like, I don't look at that as an insult. I just look at that as, okay, that's your way of saying he needs to fine-tune some things a little bit. Maybe get a little bit more loose with it creatively. Right? I don't really look at that as an insult, but I like the work of Solo. Maybe I'm of that rarity, right? Maybe I'm the few, the proud, the only that actually likes the work of Solo. There are times where Solo will do some comedic stuff and he's not even trying to be a comedic. That's the truth. I remember there was like a couple of weeks ago where something was going on at ringside. I can't remember who was fighting in the ring, but at ringside, Solo was celebrating something, and he did a quick 2-second little dance, little foot dance. Next thing you know, that became a viral moment and everything on social media, right? He just does these little things, these little nuances. It almost kind of gives you shades of how The Rock used to roll back in the day. There's like these certain little rockish mannerisms. He's even kind of channeling a little bit of Roman Reigns in certain mannerisms that he puts out there and everything. No, I think the way WWE has handled Solo Sikoa, especially at a time when they definitely needed to make a rival to Roman Reigns, they needed to essentially build somebody up. He was in the right time. It was the right place. Now, look, hindsight being 2020, man, if we could just swap out and put Jacob Fatu, Jacob should have been, oh yeah, without a doubt. But Solo sees the opportunity, and I say all that to say this. Solo can only go in and lose but so many times. You feel where I'm coming from? If you see me kind of looking around a little bit, my nose is itching. and I kind of feel like blowing my nose. I'm kind of having allergies, but we'll see if we can power through this. I'm just letting you guys know, just in case I say hang on. I may mute and go grab some Kleenex from the next room real quick. But, Solo can only talk a really good game and storyline and lose, but so many times. You gotta eventually, with this guy, you gotta toss him a bone that he can gnaw on for a little bit. And this is what I thought WWE essentially did with the guy, right? This is their way of pretty much kind of rewarding the man and saying, look, we know there's a lot that we've asked of you, and not for nothing, but every single time we've asked, you've crushed it. So, little reward for you. Let's see where you go with this. Let's see what happens. Now, Jacob Fatu, friends in the strangest places. That's my way of saying this boy gonna need some allies. I know a lot of people are like, it's interesting. Everybody's going, Jay Uso, damn, Jay no longer the world heavyweight champion. Goddamn, Jay. Well, I don't see enough people going, well, what about Jimmy? And I ain't talking about little Jimmy. I'm talking about Big Jim. Dude just almost non-existent, almost a non-factor right now. Well, I definitely think going forward, because there is strength in numbers, Jacob Fatu, Big Jim, LA Knight, and as far as a fourth guy goes, to like really balance things out, I don't know. That's kind of interesting. I know right now Aleister Black and R-Truth, they're kind of intertwined with one another. So unfortunately, right, you can't do anything with those guys. For a fourth guy, I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little bit stumped. Who would you like to see slide in there for a fourth guy? Let me know. I gotta tell you though, I'm thinking about a recent interview that Omaz had gave. And y'all that's been listening for weeks, I have been very vocal about Omaz. I've been like, yo, you want to put a new member in the bloodline? Omaz. Yo, you trying to put somebody in that new Paul Heyman Dangerous Alliance? Hey, yo. Omaz. And like, Omaz is saying, oh yeah, I just re-signed with WWE. I just inked this new deal, and oh man, big things. Yeah, I can't wait. It's like, well, we waiting, brother. I mean, what you gonna be doing? Like, are you like at this point, like you be better off going to Hollywood and maybe you could be a stand-in for Galactus. Like seriously, in the new Fantastic Four movie. Like I don't know, man, but um I'm looking at this current incarnation of the bloodline, and I hate to say this, but at least with the old bloodline, when you were looking at Jacob Fatu, you were going, yo, Jacob Fatu, he's that dog. He's that beast. He's that rabbit Wolverine. I look at this new bloodline and I'm like, everybody's almost at like the same damn height. There's nobody that really looks that menacing. There's nobody in this stable that really looks that intimidating here. Yeah, there's strength in numbers. Yeah, they got that part right. Yeah, they'll attack you like a pack of dogs. Yeah, they got that. They got that shit right. But there's nobody that like, yo, this dude really, really. So it's interesting the pieces this go round that are surrounding Solo Sikoa, because in essence it enhances him even more. You feel where I'm coming from? And look, that can be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. I know when Jacob was eventually inserted, it ended up being a bad thing because Solo was supposed to be the main focal point. And so now that you've done what you've done here, we'll see what happens the next go round. But let me know who you guys are thinking for a fourth man. That's what I'm most curious about. Who are y'all thinking for a fourth man? Y'all that's talking about Roman. Do you maybe slide Roman right there? Do you maybe do Roman Reigns, LA Knight, Big Jim. And who was the fourth guy I had mentioned? Oh man, I can't remember the fourth guy I mentioned now. LA Knight, Jay Uso, Jacob Fatu, Roman Reigns. There you go. There's your four guys. Do you maybe do something with that? That would definitely be the more logical. If I'm gonna book it, I'm going in that direction because I've been ready to essentially elevate LA Knight, trying to really help take him to that next level. What better way to do that proper rub off and all that than, yo, and think about this: Big Jim would benefit, LA Knight would definitely benefit. Like, I mean, it's a win-win all around, especially when you're trying to elevate certain guys and really help get them over that little bit of a hump that they're at and everything. So, going to be interesting to see creatively what directions they decide they want to go with Roman Reigns. But that would be my four. That would be my four that I would go with. Overall, though, as far as Night of Champions go, look, scale of 1 to 10, 1 being crap, 10 being awesome sauce, I am going to give this event a 6 out of 10. Maybe a 6.5. You might be able to wiggle a 6.5 out of 10 out of me, but I'm not going to go any higher. I'm not going to go any lower. Again, as far as matches of the night, high point, low point, just looking at this card one more time. I'm definitely going to give it up to Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Love that match. I thought for what it was worth, even though I feel the wrong person won, Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea Ripley, their street fight, that definitely was really good. I'm just looking at the rest of it. For what it was worth, Solo and Fatu, pretty solid matchup. I didn't particularly the shitfest sandwich, definitely the low point of the night, and Asuka and Jade. Like, I wish we could have that back. I wish we could have that back and like that match like never happened. Hell, I wish Asuka would have won. I mean, but it is what it is. Cena, Punk, sounds good on paper, but it's one of those things where if you don't eat a meal before you go with your family to the grocery store, what happens? Y'all know what happens. You don't stick to your budget. You put a whole bunch of stuff in the cart that you ain't got no business putting in the cart because you're letting your stomach and your eyes do that when you really need to take a step back and with your mind, really. So I look at Cena versus Punk, and on paper, like, yo, in 2025, oh, yeah, hell yeah. But now that the match has pretty much played itself out, it's, well, wait a minute. How old are these guys again? Oh, yeah, I should have known better. Damn. Now, going forward, maybe a tag match. Yeah, that'll suffice. I'm okay with that. But yeah, 6.5 out of 10. I can't go lower. I can't go higher. Let's see what you guys had to say about this. Let's go to Twitter at the RCWR Show and see how you guys have voted there. Decent event overall, but as far as must see, like, because I know some people are maybe getting ready to get their travel on for the 4th of July holiday and everything. You'd be surprised, like, this is the time to do it, because the later you go leading up to the actual day, the worse the travel is going to get. So a lot of people are actually traveling right now, trying to do what they got to do. Appreciate everybody that had casted their vote via Twitter at the RCWR Show. Right now, I am seeing that there is 6% of you that did not enjoy Night of Champions at all. 7% of you said it was a below average show. 36% of you said it was a awesome show, and 51% of you, top dog right now, are saying that it was a average show. Appreciate you guys that voted via Twitter. Let's see what you guys had to say over on YouTube. YouTube.com/the RCWR Show. Click on the post section and vote that way. Let's see how that is looking right now. Early voting says a tie at 20% for average show, while the other half of you are saying you didn't enjoy it at all. 60% of you right now are saying it was a awesome show. So, kind of interesting. YouTube community with the early voting going on over there right now. 60% awesome show. But over on Twitter, we've got 51% of the vote coming in saying it was a average show. So kind of interesting where we are right there. I like how SV is saying in regards to Solo Sikoa and his stable, how it's basically the no aura tribe. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because Jeff Cobb was never a promo guy. Jeff Cobb was just always, yo, you want to see some solid ass good matches like, Aquelo, not exactly a promo guy, right? I'm getting a Ring doorbell notification. Something is going on with my battery. Hang on here. I think they're telling me that my battery is at 30%. So that's because I've been watching it the whole time I've been talking to you guys. I would imagine that kind of drained it a little bit there. Um, I got RP saying Ranit. I got Ranit saying poor Night of Champions event ever. I'm not gonna say it was the poorest Night of Champions event. I give WWE credit for, hey, look, we got this King and Queen of the Ring tournaments that's wrapping up here. We've got John Cena and CM Punk one last time. We've got Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross for you hardcore fans. They tried to do a little bit of everything with this one, but you know, pretty hollow in a lot of areas. In a lot of areas, there was only but a couple of things to really like from this event when it was all said and done. Let's see what's going on with some more comments here. Let's take to social media and let's see if we could find out what some of the people are saying in regards to Night of Champions here. And one thing that I definitely want to do here before we get ready to roll out, give you guys a friendly reminder, we are going to be doing a WWE Raw post show. Remember, Raw this week over on the USA soil. It's going to be coming on at 6 p.m. Eastern. 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, live on Netflix. And for those of you that are not aware and you're like, what's going on? Why is this like what the hell is going on here? It's quite simple. After Raw goes off the air, WWE immediately is going to be filming an episode of SmackDown. And they're trying to make sure that for the 4th of July holiday break, that everybody is able to spend that quality time with their family and all that. So, going to be a nice little extended break. So that's what's up. That's what's up. And I could definitely relate to that because when it's all said and done, I'm taking one of my last classes to meet my requirements for my associate's degree, and I have a final exam the day before the 4th of July. And my professor, she was like, originally, because she told us this in our meeting, she said originally this class was supposed to go up until July. I think she said it was originally supposed to go up until July 8th. But the more and more that she thought about it, like, and she knows everybody's going to be going out of town, they're going to be doing something for the 4th of July, and it's going to be kind of hard for some people to get back. And so she wasn't trying to deal with that headache. So she decided to move it up. Over on Cage Match right now, I'm seeing that Night of Champions has a 5.85 out of 10. That's how things are looking right now for that pay-per-view. And I'm just curious to see some of the comments that's coming in here. Let's go with a neutral Most positive and most critical. Shout out to Kilo, who says probably the best. He gave it a 9 out of 10. I don't know about all that, but let's hear him out, or let's hear them out. Probably the best PLE of the year so far after Elimination Chamber. Every match ranged from good to great, and everything served its purpose. I do wish the finish to Zayn versus Kross had a bit more substance, something that could have benefited both guys. And I'd also have preferred a different ending for the main event, but those are minor gripes that didn't really take away from my overall enjoyment. The only thing keeping me from giving this a perfect score is the lack of a truly iconic match or a standout moment that'll be remembered for years. Still, a super hot show all around. Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? Here is the most critical review. Anois gave it a 2 out of 10, saying just horrid show all around. Maybe one good match. You can make that argument. And a completely ruined main event with more time spent on run-ins rather than actual wrestling. Well, I have to push back on that because in regards to that main event match, we did note that it was 26 minutes and change. First half of that match, at least first half of that match, the guys did go at it just one-on-one. They did go at it just one-on-one, and it was pretty solid. But look, if they would have just continued to just one-on-one, and no, they needed, trust me, they needed it. If it would have just been one-on-one any longer, Punk definitely would have been chilling in the corner with an oxygen mask, for sure. Let's see what else he had to say here. Kross was horrible as usual. Jade has shown no improvement since her debut in WWE. I just think she doesn't want it, and she knows she can coast off her resume and physique. You guys agree with that? Sound off. And then as far as most neutral goes, without looking at a thesis, here is shout out to J20, 7 out of 10. Ranking down matches for fun, Jade versus Asuka, too short, gave that a 6 out of 10. CM Punk versus John Cena, a 5 out of 10. As far as he was concerned, too many kickouts, and the last 10 minutes was really ridiculous. They probably could have scaled it back just a little bit. I will admit, damn, is the hot dog man coming out next? You know, you weren't quite sure what was going on there. Let's see here. Am I reading this right? He is giving... I guess this is how he's ranking it. Cody versus Orton is a 4. A few too many kickouts. Sami versus Kross. He gave that a 3. A light with an all right with an excellent crowd. And then Solo versus Jacob. Solo's antics were really entertaining, but camera angles made the finish too confusing. Rhea versus Raquel, really fun with a lot of creative spot. I don't know how he's ranking this. This is kind of weird how he's doing this. Maybe he was just, hey, match number. I think that's maybe what he means. A little bit confusing, but he's going with a 7 out of 10 for the event overall. All right. And if you guys want to get in a couple of live comments while we're on the air, sound off about the event real quick before we get ready to call it. This is your time right now. Meanwhile, I am looking at what folks are saying on social media. And yeah, shout out to Jade Cargill. I mean, she actually popped up at Night of Champions as Storm. That was probably one of my favorite costumes there. And to the knucklehead that says Saudi Arabia doesn't like black women wrestlers, it seems. I don't know about all that. I think that's very extreme. Look, by the time that particular match between Jade Cargill and Asuka was over, it was pretty much, the crowd was dead. They were fucking dead. I mean, and can you blame them when it's all said and done? Look how WWE just shelled out Asuka. It was like, hey, I've been gone for a year. Oh, yeah, you have, haven't you? Hey, there's some Doritos in the refrigerator. Can you grab that? Cause you're going to the kitchen, right? Great to have you back, by the way. I mean, that's literally how they did Oscar when they just fucking wheeled her on out there. Uh, Jade, what do you expect when she's not showing any great depths of significant improvement? What do you expect? So yeah, of course the crowd is no. It has nothing to do with race. Has nothing to do with race. And just to shut that down, look at the nice little reaction that the tag champions, Street Profits. Look at the nice reaction that they had, guy. Might have not been a Cody Rhodes or a Randy Orton reaction, but they got a better reaction than Jade, and essentially Asuka. So come on. But yeah, as far as best outfits, definitely Jade Cargill. She definitely had a pretty nice joint that was going on there. See what's going on here. Going through some more comments here. The last real world champion. I don't understand emoji. Somebody's trying to leave a review for Night of Champions, but they're using a whole bunch of emojis. I have no idea on half of these damn emojis that I'm trying to get caught up to speed. I'm trying to get caught up to speed. I read a couple of years ago. I finally have found out what tot means. THOT. So I mean, I still need to catch up. I still need to catch up. Uh, Interesting news. In the past 45 minutes, Triple H revealed that John Cena and CM Punk did wrestle for the final time today. Now, that doesn't essentially rule out them tag teaming, but as far as one on one, they are definitely done. They are definitely done. By the way, Nick Patrick, I did love that spot. Was it Nick Patrick, the Ric Flair wannabe referee? I did love seeing his ass run down the ramp when Seth Rollins was calling for a referee. And I mean, man, look, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I ain't seen a run down the ramp like that since the last time I was at fucking Cracker Barrel or Golden Corral, and I heard that ribs were back, and just the way John Cena tackled his ass. I mean, he just shoulder tackled his ass. Loved it. I never popped so hard in my life. You guys got to watch that on social media. Sarah Ann, appreciate you. Asuka carried the useless, untalented, botching carcass of Jade Cargill in that match, and then is made to look pathetically weak by the WWE. What a disgrace. You ain't gonna get no pushback from me. You ain't gonna get no pushback from me. Shout out to Don. Cody versus Randy, 4 stars. Rhea versus Raquel, 3.5. Solo versus Jacob, 3. Jade versus Asuka, 2. Punk versus Cena, 3.5. Y'all agree with that? Brett, at this point, I can't help but think WWE is just waiting for Kross's contract to run out since he's in his contract year, because having him lose to Sami the way he did makes no fucking sense to me. Yeah, it's kind of one of those. Let's see what happens in the next 2 weeks there with Sami. Like, are we trying to build Sami up here for the main event? Is that the plan? Like, what we're trying to get him ready for WrestleMania when he eventually takes the world title. What exactly is going on here? But yeah, I definitely hear you on that one. Lady Killer. Jade Cargill, for me as a character, is missing something, and to me, still needs work in the ring. That was rough to watch. Couple of more for you guys. By the way, some of the outfits that Rhea, Roxanne, Raquel, they were giving me Catwoman vibes. Did anybody else get Catwoman vibes with the outfits that they were wearing? I dug them. I actually dug them. I actually dug them. Let's see here. A couple of more comments here. By the way, I'm seeing that apparently for some of my friends in the podcasting world, they don't mean no harm. They are doing nice little hangouts, streaming some pay-per-view events and all that, and apparently motherfuckers are tattletelling. I couldn't believe that. I guess somebody was a little bit sore because, I guess they're paying and they're kind of like, why should everybody get to watch it for free when I pay? I don't know. Somebody hurting though. Somebody very, very salty. That's just damn. It's kind of one of those. I'm so glad that I don't do the whole Discord, like as far as the streaming and all that other stuff. I'm so glad because like you come across a whole bunch of legalities when it comes to that. Shout out to Blake. Convinced Raquel Rodriguez didn't beat Rhea Ripley. She should have, by the way, because it would have been too similar to the finish of Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa. You could make that argument. You could definitely make that argument. Pretty Fly. Night of Champions was easily the worst WWE pay-per-view I've seen since I started watching wrestling again January of 2022. Was it semi the weakest one so far this calendar year? You could definitely make that argument. For sure. You could definitely make that argument. And let's see if we could go through maybe two more. And then we'll go ahead and we'll call it. Interesting question. Some interesting results so far. Somebody's got a question up asking, how do you see John Cena's farewell tour ending? Retiring as champion or passing the torch? And right now, 64% of folks that voted think Cena is going to retire as champion, while 36% feel he's going to be passing the torch. Shout out to KYN. Ripley versus Rodriguez, 3.5. I'm assuming out of 5. Solo versus Fatu, 3.75 out of 5. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, 4 stars. Jade Cargill versus Asuka. Wow. This is somebody that actually really liked that match, folks. 3.75. Cena versus Punk, 4.25. Overall, PLE rating, 3.85. That about where some of y'all are? Sound off. And on that note, we're going to stick a fork in it. We're going to call this episode DONE. Done. I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your weekend. Quick programming note, I'll be back with you guys this Monday, June 30th, 2025. As soon as WWE Raw goes off the air. Remember, Raw's going to be coming on 6 p.m. Eastern live, 3 p.m. Pacific on Netflix. So immediately after that, we're going to be doing our post show. So tune in for that. We'll be talking Raw Fallout. Maybe we'll also go over a little tricklets of some news. Definitely, I wouldn't mind getting a little bit into the Night of Champions press conference. I'm sure there's probably some interesting sound bites that we can react to on there. In the meantime, be kind, rewind, check out previous episodes you might have missed on demand and on the downloads, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search the RCWR Show. And until next go round, my pretty babies, I'm wishing all of y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I will see you guys next go round. Adios, y'all, and take care.